Okay, hello and welcome back. It's been a wee while since I last made a video, purely because I wasn't entirely sure what to do, because I could spend, you know, in excess of 2 years, because there's 600 tanks in this game, um, doing reviews, which, I mean, it's alright, but it could get boring after a while, and I do want to, mix it up a little. So today I just decided to talk about a few things. As you can see, I started using mods finally, but more on that later. I wanted to talk about, what the sort of videos I want to do on the channel, and also the sort of videos I don't want to do. I would like your suggestions in the comments. And knowing what I don't really want to do is probably something you guys might want to know if you're planning on making a suggestion. I'll give you a little bit on this current replay I've just got going in the background here for while I'm speaking. I took an interest in marking my tanks just recently, so I thought, you know what, why not? I'll start with a few tanks. I've done a 229, you would have seen that's a 3 mark in its review video. This is actually the game where I got 2 marks on this tank. Yeah, see, it's not there. I do have 2 marks on it now. You can tell by the wee marker counter here above 85%. But yeah, I guess I'll talk about the mods first. So what I'm using now is the it's Quickie Baby setup for the team stats. So obviously they only show overalls, so I mean I'm a unicum, but it shows my overall score, which is a greenie, which is alright, but it also shows that you can't fully trust your what you see in the stats. What it does show me though, that when I'm playing, is what tanks are more likely to be reckless. More likely to rush. I can tell their behaviour a little bit more by doing this. By being able to see their overalls at the moment. When someone gets to a unicum, their overalls usually jump to at least green or blue. So if it's anything less than that, you can guess that they may be a little bit reckless, or it'll seem like reckless to you, just not to them. We were all at that stage at one point in time, What I noticed down here, well, I mentioned it just before, so it is the marker counter. So at the start of the battle, it'll show me what my mark will go down to if I don't do anything this battle, and it'll show me how much I need for the to go up to the next percentage of the mark. Now, for some reason, it never works on this particular tank. It just shows 17,000. So it's kind of useless, but it does still properly track your progress. Now, for me anyway, there was a lot of confusion around how to mark your tank. Like, I knew, damage, good games, all of that, but what's actually included a lot in them is how well you get eyes for your team. So you don't have to be a light tank in order to get spotting damage, because it stacks with the damage that you do yourself. Now, after discovering this, it was like a really big thing for me. Marking tanks became so much easier. So even when I'm reloading, if I know I'm not spotted, I'll just poke through a bush and just keep them lit. It helps so much. Now obviously, like I talk about a lot in my videos, tracking vehicles when you can is a huge plus, because that obviously goes to your assistance damage just like a spotting. You see I'm slowly backing it up a bit, so this would normally just be a 1500 combined game at the moment, but thanks to the spotting it is now a 3k game, so it just stacks up so much faster when you have that knowledge. A huge issue I had, because this isn't the first time I've tried using mods, is that I was way too focused on how well I was doing. I'd take a shot and then I'd look back here, see how well I was doing, and you know, it would just ruin my whole train of thought. So a big thing to consider about this is whether or not you're actually going to be able to keep your focus away from that. You know what I mean? Because otherwise you're just gonna screw yourself over. If you find you can't keep yourself from getting distracted by it, then I suggest you just get rid of the mods for now and keep playing until you get to a point that maybe you can try again, you know. Another thing to point out, up the top here, I have a win rate tracker. The diff is the difference between my average win rate, I believe, in this tank, and obviously how much credits I'm going to get. This is not going to be a very credity game, I don't think. If I remember correctly, I wasn't actually paying attention. But yeah, you know, I don't like filling up my screen with mods. I see a lot of people will have like new radicals, or have like the big team health bar. I did consider the team health bar, to be honest, but I decided against it for now. I feel like it's information that you'd probably only use end game, so it can give you an estimation of what just of what health the enemy is on at the end of the game, you know, because you don't always know every enemy's health. You might know one or two, but you know, it'll just, I feel like it'll help. Obviously I'm not using it, but there we go. Pardon me. Okay, what else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, that's right, what videos I'm going to be doing. Now, I will let you know what videos I'm not keen on doing. So like, I saw in one of my previous videos in the comments, someone said, oh, you know, you should do like trick shot videos, you know. If they happen, you'll see them in the videos, but I'm not going to go out of my way to, you know, make that happen. I'd rather just play well. It's, yeah, I'm one of those people where like their entire mood is affected by how well they play the game. It's pretty sad, but that's just how I am, so... yeah, I'd rather just do as well as I can. Videos I do want to do, I do want to be very, as educational as possible. I didn't want to solely talk about this topic in this video, that's why I put in the bit about mods and my own suggestions for them, for you guys. And also, you know, I know what the confusion is like, you know, it's not exactly... The game doesn't really feed you the information, you have to get it yourself, which is one of the things that I find really difficult about starting out in this game, and I always warn people about it before they start. But I let them know at what stage they can expect things to get better. So like, I remember there used to be a thing where anything less than 3,000 battles, and you're probably still a noob, at 3,000 battles you will begin picking up a lot more of you know, how the game works, the mechanics and all that. 3,000 might seem like a lot, but by about 3,000 games you can expect to have like be pretty close to your first tier 10, have another line up to tier 8 at least, you know, all of that stuff. It's yeah, that's just what you can expect. And if you really enjoy your tanks, like for me, I didn't really play the game because I enjoyed it at the start. I played it because I wanted to see the tanks, you know. I remember seeing this, I think I was going down the KV line, one of the first lines I went down. The very first one I went down was the E50 line, because I love Penta tanks. And yeah, no, I was going down the KV line, and then I saw, I was about to give up on this game because I got really annoyed with it. I can't remember why. I just kept dying, and I'd have to wait for my tank to come back and all that. And then I see this KV4, and it shoots at the tank across the map and one-shots it from full health. And at the time, I had no idea that that was just an ammo rack. You know, he managed to get lucky, set off the ammo rack, and kill the tank in one shot. But I thought this was incredible, so I was like, why is no one else using this? So I just went down the line, got the tank, all that. And yeah, no, that just all started it for me. But yeah, back on topic again. I'm rambling away. Yeah, so I want to do educational videos more. That's the main thing for me. I don't mind what they're about. I have thought about doing ones where I'll go into a training room with a friend and show you practically how to deal with separate tanks, you know. They wouldn't be very long videos, I won't lie, but I could do like a whole lineup, you know, like a whole tech tree line of tanks, which I feel would probably be better than just doing one tank at a time. Otherwise I'd have like a million different you know, different videos which you'd have to scroll through, when instead you just pick a line and have the video, because I really don't think doing a line of tanks in a video, just showing their weak spots, would take too long. I'm expecting like maybe 10 minutes for a video, which is good in my opinion. Yeah, obviously tank reviews, I do only like to do the tanks which I am enjoying at the time. So I've been considering doing an SU-100 view. I was actually trying to mark that one along with this, which at the moment is just, when it comes to marking, I just need to rack up enough games. I'm well above the requirements for a 3 mark in it, but that's probably a good thing to point out. I'll go ahead and ramble again. There is a minimum amount of battles to get a mark, so I believe it's about 50. Some people say 100, but I think it's 50. So you know, you can have a tank and play one game and have like an absolutely amazing game, you know, and then you sit down and you're like, and if you think about it, you know, that should be a 3 mark, right? Because your averages overall are well above the requirements. But if that was the case, then that, you know, it's almost like cheating, right? So yeah, that's not, you have, if you're sitting there and you know you're doing well and you're not getting a mark and you're getting frustrated about it, the reason for that is because there is a minimum amount of battles. So just keep that in mind when you're marking. But yeah, back to the videos again. Yeah, so obviously tank reviews, but I'll only really be doing tanks I enjoy playing, because again, I still play this game for fun. If I get a good medal, which I feel is going to be, you know, educational to you guys, I will use it as well. I do have a lot of good games that you guys haven't seen, but the reason I haven't showed them is because everything sort of fell into my lap in those games, if you know what I mean. So they were just, the enemy team was stupid, or they just provided enough opportunities for me to shoot at them without me having to do much. And I don't think those are the sort of games that are going to teach anyone much. You know, it's like if you go onto YouTube, search up, I don't know, 279E what, and it'll come up with a whole lot of big 10k, 13k games for you to watch. You know, it's not going to teach you anything, because a lot of the time, anything over 10k, I mean, I know there are players where they are that good. For example, Skillful 2, he is an incredible player, and he does those sort of games consistently in that tank, which I haven't been able to do in my 279E. It's just, you know, I do get quite often 5-6k games, but I'm just not that incredible, you know. But yeah, a lot of the time, especially for me, those big games, things just fall into my lap, and instead I'll just sort of sit very consistently around 3,000 to 4,000 damage a game, or at least combined, you know. But yeah, for the end of this video, I'm just gonna, I might make this a long video actually. What I'll do is I'll get another replay up, and I'll just talk through it. I think I've got a 7032 game. I don't remember what happened in it, but it's I think it's above 4k, you know. So we'll just see how that goes. So I'll see you there. Okay, so here we are. I actually haven't rehearsed this replay yet. I normally like to do like a few watch throughs, maybe record one and then record another to pick up where I, left off or, forgot about or oversaw on my previous recording. But I actually have no idea I can't actually remember what's going to happen in this video. One thing I do remember is that this G-Saw on the enemy team, he's been in a few of my games. He's a really good player by the looks of it, but he hasn't been doing very well. So we might see what happens there in this video. I just find it funny because I know what it's like to have frustrating sessions, and he's obviously having one of those in that tank anyway. So yeah, as I said, I'm just commenting on this video live. I haven't rehearsed it at all, so let me know how it goes. Maybe you'll like it better. I don't know. But yeah. By the looks of things, I'm going to go to the bridge at the start. I think I was considering following the IS-32, but I figured there'd probably be some heat users, just go straight to me. Okay, so this Conqueror is going to be pushing out a little bit too much pretty often. And I see that Bizonte at the back. That is always a spot which you need to look out for. There's almost always a tank there, and they can usually use the bushes pretty well. This Bizonte isn't doing that, so we're just going to punish him for it. You can stay safe from the low ground here as well, which is a good thing to point out. By the low ground, I mean here. A lot of people I see have issues working up here without getting shot at from down there. Especially when I'm facing them, I usually find enemies making that mistake. Now, I'm trying to get shots into the wee little bit of the front of the Bizonte that he's still exposing. That G-Saw player is there. He gets tracked. Okay. There we go. Put a sneaky shot in there, that's a wee pixel. We now have a T95 taking our spots, so I actually don't really want to disturb him, if I'm being honest. He is going to do a really good job there. The people on the low ground aren't going to be able to hit his lower plate from there, which is the weak spot, one of the weak spots on that tank. And also from that angle, his commander hatches on top are covered, so he's actually in a really good spot there. And that Bizonte doesn't really have the accuracy or the penetration to be able to deal with the T95 from that distance. Now, I seem to remember that I'm going to make a play down underneath the bridge at some point, because I see that sitting up here isn't going to get me much more, in the form of damage. Now we get another incredible high roll there on a Conqueror, 468, which is pretty good. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying it's a really high roll. Yeah. Am I tracked? No, I'm not, I'm just sitting here. Okay. So we're going to make it further down. I really don't think we're going to have an issue coming down here. I'm going to use this big pole here to protect myself from the people where that 50 TP is. I am wary of this IS-T2. I let the T95 go first. The T95's gun gets in the way of my shot, but that's alright. These things happen, and I know he didn't do it intentionally. So I go for the tracking shot in the IS-T2 just to keep him locked down. Oh, he made a mistake of doing a double shot into me, but I saw he was looking at my side, so I kept it angled. That wiggle you saw, what I was actually doing is angling my lower plate, and then he would look away from the lower plates to my side, and I'd just angle my side, so he just couldn't. It just confuses the hell out of people. It's annoying, but if it helps you with your game, why not use it? Now the 4CDU has backed himself into a corner there. I think that may actually be the best decision for him, though since he's at full health, he may have actually made it out of there alive, if I'm being honest. Actually, thinking about it again, we've got a Sawmiller and a WC coming down this line, which he would have just run into. Now I try a tracking shot there, somehow we miss, despite what the reticle was telling us. So I go for the other one. I don't think we get any assistance there. Now I believe I actually I repair my fuel tank. Now, fuel tanks are actually something which you might not think about. I know I never used to, but if your fuel tank is orange, the next time it gets hit, it was probably going to get set on fire, and you are screwed. Especially with my health, I'll probably burn out completely. I don't know what sort of crew I have on this tank. I can't remember. I may have a fire crew, I may not. But yeah, just don't risk it. It's best just to have a good repair crew, and then you're only going to have to wait like 4 or 5 seconds to repair your tracks. If they do track you and you can't repair it yourself. But yeah, we're getting towards the end of the replay here. I wanted to get shots in the Swartz and the SC100. I finished off that Swartz Panzer. There is this SC100. Now he's making a big mistake here. A lot of people say the frontal arm of this tank is really strong, but it's exactly the same as ISM, and it's not actually that great. Now he's angling it downwards, so you know he's just unangled his tank, and I can just put a double shot straight through the top of his tank, which brings us up to our final score of the battle, which is 4.1k. And yeah, that's the battle. It did actually turn out to be quite educational. Again, I lost a shitload of credits, 57,000, but as I said before, I wasn't actually too concerned about this battle. Actually, I wonder if the credits even take into account how much I'm going to earn. Maybe not. I don't know. Because I don't remember going down in how much credits I had after this game. But yeah, anyway, I think I'll leave the end credits out of this battle. Let me know if you want to see them more often. I suppose it's nice to see them, but I'll let you guys decide. It doesn't bother me myself, I can just throw them in. But yeah, good to point out, this guy, obviously a really good player. He, everyone has bad sessions, even the good players. He was having a bad session. I do remember him being in a few of my games and doing terribly, so yeah. If you're having a bad session, just take a break. Don't work yourself up over it. Playing more will work you up, is what I'm meaning, so just give it a break for a while. But yeah, anyway, that's the end of the video. Please let me know what you want to have in future videos. Any suggestions, you know. Obviously, I will be picking and choosing suggestions myself to what I feel would be nice. But yeah, let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video, and hopefully you guys watched to this point, in which case I'll be very happy, and you can be happy that I'm happy because you made me happy, or whatever. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you next time.